Hello, everybody. Welcome inside After Hours Sports. My name is Brandon Rosenthal, and alongside me, as always, are my co-hosts Erick, Garcia, and Social Mike. It has been about a month and a half since we recorded a podcast. It is our first one of 2021. It's been an interesting time here in LA County as the city gets adjusted to whatever the hell's going on. Gentlemen, it's good to see your faces, or at least the logo of Mike. How you guys doing?
Doing great, good, man. Trying to stay safe out in this crazy county, like you said, crazy LA streets.
I know, right? Crazy streets, and usually that meant like the streets are actually crazy. Now it's we're just pretty much staying in our homes and doing everything via Zoom or online, and we're not alone in that. But it's been a wild ride. However, sports have been our savior, really. At least for a sports fan like
Definitely.
me, it's been a godsend to have these teams and to have the NBA, to have baseball do its thing. NFL's in full swing. Golf is just kind of around. Hockey's back. So if you like sports, this is a great time. Obviously, you can't go to the games, but it has definitely helped pass the time. So having said that, we have a few things on the slate today. We are going to briefly mention the Mamba. We are going to talk about the Lakers, and we're going to talk about the NFC and AFC championship games, then briefly preview the Super Bowl, which the Niners are not a part of, unfortunately. We thought they were going to be. Let's put it that way. They are not. So before we get into anything, before we get into the Mamba, I just briefly want to mention NBA writer, podcaster, blogger Sekou Smith passed away of COVID on Tuesday. He was 48 years old, and that was a shock to me. It was a shock to everybody. I never met him, didn't know him. I had a buddy who has another podcast, No Limit Jumper, who interviewed him, and so he broke the news to me. And it's just crazy that this guy was obviously a inside a lot of NBA circles. A lot of NBA players trusted him information, hopped on his podcast, and he seemed like a good dude. If you watch NBA TV, you recognize his face. He recently lost a ton of weight. So with not even sports wise, like he seemed like he's making the right moves to get healthy. And, just to see that he didn't make it, I didn't even know he was in the hospital. It's just wild. And it's just COVID continues to just take things away from us. And I don't know how you guys felt about it, if you knew Sekou at all when it comes to his work, or just kind of on NBA TV in passing. But what did you guys think of it briefly?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like yourself, like I've heard him throughout, like I listen to a shitload of podcasts, so I'm always hearing to different people. So it's someone who any NBA kind of stuff. So definitely a name you hear, but I mean, there's not much I could add besides of course that's a horrible situation. The guy's 48. He's not crazy much older than we are. So we just started the podcast talking about how crazy this shit is out here, and I guess this is one of those reminders how real it is out there. Sometimes you don't just want to get it and deal with all the side effects that people tell you that they get, but then they get better. But then there's the realness of like, well, this man is taken away from people that love him, and it's good. It's a very sad situation, and unfortunate one, of course. So, I really I do like that from like the fact that I told you I've heard him in so many podcasts. I do like that so many people have come out and pretty much if somebody's gonna pass away young, you like to hear that I guess he reached so many people. So it was a good
that's a good
thing
point.
to add to a sad situation.
A silver lining in that.
Exactly.
I just want to add one thing. I mean, no passing is ever a good thing. Read some stuff, read what he's reporting, heard him on some podcasts as well. And just a reminder, I know, it sucks that it had to be, a younger like you guys were just speaking about, someone not much older than us. And again, just a reminder as to, like you guys just mentioned again, we got to take this seriously. You know, there's no age is not a limit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, but yeah, you know, this is going to continue to happen as you know, we're gonna hear news that we don't want to hear over these next few months, and hopefully this thing kind of stops, and we can get back to semi-normal. But until then, you know, just everybody just stay safe and just good vibes all around. You know, let's move on to quickly mention the Mamba. It was a 1-year anniversary of his passing. I don't want to get into too much of it because we literally have a whole podcast, which I highly recommend you go listen. It's the first one of our after-hour sports journey. We were the 30-minute lunch break before and post compressor, and we've had a few names, but that was an unplanned podcast that we just recorded, and it was raw, and we just talked about how much the Mamba meant to us, and I highly recommend it. But did you guys see any tributes that you enjoyed that you wanted to shout out, or did you just kind of watch highlights, or just kind of stay away from all of it?
I did kind of stay away for a bit one thing that I do want to mention, just because I heard, you know, Vanessa Bryant, I believe, made this point. Maybe moving forward, I don't know if remembering the day he died is such a thing that they want to be the anniversary. There's going to be Kobe Bryant Day, and there is his actual birthday. Maybe those are the better days to make it about Kobe as opposed to the day where he passed away. But that being said, of course, you know, people are coming out with all the normal things. So I try to definitely stay away from all the tearjerker stuff that happened and that I've seen over and over. But two things I want to say. First, I want to go ahead and plug, you know, yourself, Brandon, and your homie had yourself a Kobe specific podcast that you're dropping that I checked out. So that was good.
Thank you.
Because it came from a different where, how can I tell you? This is kind of why I tell you the Kobe Mamba Day is probably better, or birthday, which is kind of the vibe that I got from listening to your stuff was, which again, people, you got to go check it out. We'll tweet it out and do stuff like that so you guys could listen to it. But it's like more of a positive vibe, like more of a remembering the good, as opposed to, you know, that day,
good times.
Stuff, you know what I mean? But another thing, the second part that I want to say is I checked out, you know how people keep putting a lot of the commercials. I saw I don't know if you've seen that one where it's every single one of his commercials. Like it's like 30 minutes, dude. Of not commercials, shoe commercials specifically. It's 30 minute. It's like a 30-minute clip of all of them, bro. Like China ones, fucking different countries.
Oh damn!
I mean, Adidas, Nike. I mean, everything, dude. It's a whole. It was so fucking dope. I mean, you remember some crazy ones. You remember I forgot the whole part of Adidas in the beginning where it was what was the whole thing of feet that you wear? That whole campaign, and you know, all those commercials, that nostalgia. That I enjoyed that because again, just I'm not gonna lie, I fucking I more wanted to do the positive part of it. I didn't really want none of that sad stuff at that moment, just being real. So it was super dope. It was super fun. And of course, there's different tribute videos and stuff, but I luckily I saw that one. It gave me all the stuff that I wanted to see from Kobe without pretty much giving me, you know, the stuff that I didn't want to feel at that moment, I guess.
I feel you. No. That's exactly what I did. I didn't watch any sentimental stuff. I just watched the highlights, and obviously, like, I was prepping for the podcast, so I rewatched that. It's called Bean, or you can look at the Bean podcast.
Oh, there you go. Thanks for saying the name. I forgot the name.
For sure. It's all good. Yeah, we were trying to think of a name for it, and we're like, "What about Bean?" And we're like, "Okay, that works." And we're like, "I like it." Yeah, you know, it's just about it's about the Mamba. And it's just truly about the Mamba. And we literally picked games to rewatch about that we enjoyed, that were the Mamba. It meant something to us. And Jeff, who we did the podcast, was really adamant that we do this game in 2003 about the Knicks, and where Kobe just ripped up the Garden.
Baseline.
We were
talking
baseline,
about that. Baseline.
And not just that, like and I posted this on my own. Like Kevin Harlan treated us to a bunch of great nicknames. It was just Kobe was such a beast that it was such a fun rewatch. Like just to watch him do his thing and like how he
Right.
was, and this was all like second fiddle. We were, like just the second fiddle Kobe. Like Shaq was still there being fat. He was so fat in this game.
So dominant. But he
But
was so
yeah,
dominant.
oh my God, like Shaq he could literally like he would fall forward and pretty much score. And then he missed a free throw, and he's like my bad. Like Shaq cared, like he cared about missing free throws, but yeah, I watched.
He apologized to Kobe.
My bad, dog. Yeah, so I just watched a lot of like highlights, which were fun because it just reminded me. Like I told my wife, just like Erick said, I wanted to watch the things that made me feel good about Kobe, and not the. And the thing one thing that did piss me off is like they're still trying to find out blame. It's like, can we just enough? Like enough. Like these, like there's 1,000 people that attended the celebration of life for Ara Zabayan, right? The pilot. Like he was a good man. Kobe trusted him. Like nobody's at fault. This is just a horrible, horrible accident. And I don't like that we'd like to find a fault of things and blame people. It's very weird.
It's weird that we as fans, because of course, like, if a family wants to dig in and whatever they want to look into the matter, that of course, you know what I mean? That's the family, right? But what makes it creepy, right, is the fact that we want to follow right along and almost beat them to the punch. And whatever the family's trying to find out, like the media already reported and found out themselves. And that kind of stuff just is like I say, again, like you just said, that's, first of all, you have, it's like you got to feel like you got to defend the pilot, but at the same time, it's like, why do we even have to have an opinion on him? Not in a negative, but it's like
we don't even know who he
is.
Shit
here. We don't know shit here. Doesn't mean we don't feel for every single person that passed away, of course. But what I mean is we don't really know even if they tell us all the details, we're pretending we're going to become detectives. But again, I know I feel for the family, and I know I'm judging all these other people that are feeling this other way. But I guess in reality, I gotta chill a bit because I don't know. People do whatever they do when they're upset, right? When they grieve. So it's a weird situation. I don't get the interest, but nonetheless, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be writing those articles or the stories if there wasn't mad clicks and mad interest. So that's just the way it works.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah, same. I didn't really watch anything that was like, that weren't highlights. Basically, there was a lot of clips, and I believe they re-aired the 81-point performance. Yeah, so again, it's just on a positive, remembering the good stuff. Like your podcast, even when you had mentioned it to us. You were talking about the Knicks game. The first thing I said was, again, like I said just a moment ago, baseline, dunk,
yes, sir.
And the stare down,
the stare down is a whole
and
part
the stare
of it.
down after. So, yeah, like letting you know, I'm here.
And the announcers of that game,
mainly
they were
for
talking
me,
about that too. John Thompson was on his A game talking about Kobe. It was great to watch, Mike.
Yeah. So, what I got a pretty good collection of Kobe shoes, and I almost wanted to like throw some on, but again, not on the day he passed. That's going to be reserved for the other days. There'll be better days that we can, again, more of I'll bring some classics out for y'all, but that'll be for reserved for the Kobe day or the birthday, either or, both days.
Exactly.
I mean, for really, but
I mean, and
I'll re-release some old school kicks for y'all.
Yeah, maybe he'll even sell them for. No, I'm just kidding. He won't do that.
No.
And
that's not happening.
And the final point I'll make, and then it's like, it wasn't just like Kobe died an old man. Like I got sad looking at Vanessa's Instagram. Like it's just I can't even imagine. So as a new father. Even just, you don't have to be a dad to be sad about this. Like this, just it's still pretty raw for a lot of people. But I'm glad that we got and another reason because we got 20 years of basketball with Kobe, so we got a lifetime full of memories, which is why I think it's easy for us to watch these highlights and still feel happy and all that good stuff.
Vivid memories of all the highlights.
I know we could go on forever, and I know it's always the guy that you extended. So we don't want to make this a Kobe thing, but I do want to say one thing that was kind of weird. It makes it, which was obviously every death is tragic, but if ever seemed like what was almost the impossible started seeming possible to me to believe, at least at the very early levels, as I always thought Kobe was never going to be the guy that coached because he has no patience for it. But then towards the end, it seemed like almost like he was destined to do it because it's like he had so much info he had to share. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to. He coached. He actually was such a coach. I'm not saying he was going to be on a staff or anything, but he was. I think he was embracing the teaching other people, like the stuff he knew. Like he didn't want to let it go to waste, right? Like I guess that's what we all should do, right? As we get older, we should be passing on our knowledge to our, the people that are younger than us. So that was pretty cool to see how many people that are in the league now that pretty much didn't even really get to play with him, still got to reach out to him and get stuff from him, and him actually working with him, not like on a. We've all seen this, Brandon talks about it himself in high school. He was trying to mimic everything he did. That he's not the only person in America. That's everybody, right? But I'm talking about people that actually were able to work with him on here, let me check out your game and let me talk about what you need to work on kind of level. That's got to be something that you're, of course, going to keep forever and ever. And this is dope. That's a dope part.
Yep. So it sucks. We're glad we get to see players play in his likeness, and let's talk about some current Lakers, and talk about, even though it's a hard turn, let's hop into the current NBA and talk about this team that just lost today, unfortunately, but this Lakers team is still in great shape. How are you guys feeling early on in this season? Are you guys finding yourself watching a lot of games? Are you finding yourselves kind of tuning out and watching it either on YouTube in the highlights or after the fact? How do you guys watching this season so far?
For the most part, if I'm not at work, I'll definitely catch the games, or once I've gotten home from work, I'll definitely catch the rest of the game. I'll try to watch it on my phone here and there, but I have been keeping up with the season, and even though, like you said, today we lost, I'm confident with the team. I'm not really, barring any injuries to obviously either AD or LeBron, we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I've been catching a good amount of games. There's no worries for me about the game, and straight up, like I still see this is the best team in the league. No, I'm not in a like there's no competition, but I mean on the fact that
there is no competition.
Like I can see lineups that are going to be hella hard and it's crazy. Different lineups that are going to give us problems, of course, and games here and there where we're going to look very very off because someone's going to catch us off and we're not going to be able to adjust in time. I can see that happening, but just like last year and just like LeBron's teams, I mean, having to beat us 4 times is going to be hard as fuck, right? So in a playoff series, Agreed. And at the same time, no matter how many other lineups seem to be getting up to the Lakers level, I do think the Lakers, like, not starting 5, but like the closing 5 lineup is still the best in the fucking league. So I mean, crunch time lineup, we're good still. That's what I see when I'm watching these games. And what's great is, just like everybody else, that's like, oh yeah, but you don't know what these teams are going to do later. Yeah, but just like those teams, the Lakers can definitely still get better. There's still the good thing about this Laker team is there's still shit to improve on, and that's fucking dope because they were tied for the best record in the league. Before this loss, I'm not sure what it's going to look like after, but it's probably still right up there. So that kind of level of performance when you still have shit to work on is right where you want to be at early on in the season. I will say this: I am shocked that I expected LeBron to kind of chill, like as far as rest to start up the season and save himself up and ramp up towards the end, and have AD just push heavy hard. But it seems like LeBron just kind of taken on and just kind of gone in fuck it mode and just letting people know I mean he's still that motherfucker, right? So LeBron's playing on a crazy level. His 3-point shooting is like at 39%. It's fucking crazy. LeBron's really playing on another level right now, and in AD, like I said, still can improve certain things. So I'm very, very, very excited to see the team pushing forward. It's been fun so far. I'll tell you that.
I agree. I haven't been able to watch many games. I have to watch them either on YouTube of like illegal streams or like the like clips. What I am with this team, this has already gotten to the point where it's all best of 7. Like anytime I see a team that beats us, I'm like, how many more times do you think you could do this in a series?
Mm-hmm.
If they're a good team.
Exactly.
Like, do you think you can do this 3 more times? Realistically, and the answer for many teams is no. Many teams is no. Like for Philly, I don't know. Like they have a lot of different weapons, but it's
no.
I mean,
just no.
We saw this. Like we saw this in the playoffs where the Lakers lost 1 game, and then the media and everybody was like, "That's it." Houston, you saw that video. I think somebody made it to like the Thanos Avengers Infinity War promo where he's like, you can run from it. And it's like LeBron just like canceling these dudes out like whop, whop, whop.
Mm-hmm.
And like Erick said, LeBron is picking this up. And it seems like look, and I'm just going to compare it to running because I literally just got into running this month. He's pacing himself, right? He was going like 11 minutes a mile, 12 minutes a mile, and now he's like at 8. And I think he's gonna be like at 4 minutes. Very, very like this dude. He takes care of his body perfectly, and I think he needed that time off because he really didn't get an off season. So that's why he was kind of like sluggish. And this team is really good, and he doesn't have to exert a lot of effort to do the things that he does now. And Mike said, Erick said he's like a 40% shooter from 3. So he doesn't need to exert all this energy by going to the paint. And when he does, it seems like he has enough left to block shots to out of Erie, Ohio. Like it's pretty crazy. The athleticism he still has at age 36.
Yep. I want to mention one thing. Shout out to the guys from the Lakers film room. I was listening to their podcast, and they mentioned one thing that kind of is a good, reminder of what you just said now. Where there was a point where Kobe, because I remember him saying the same stuff that they quoted here. Was remember towards the end of his career, he had this dunk against who the hell was it? Well, it was this crazy playoff. It was later on. I mean, it was late. He had a crazy playoff dunk, right? Where he like kind of jumped over some fool, and they asked him like, what's up with that? And he's like, I can still do that, but I basically have a couple of those in me, and I gotta know when to bring that shit out, right? Like just basically, that's kind of what LeBron's doing right now. Like that's what they mentioned. That as far as that's what LeBron's doing, and that's kind of pretty much what Brandon's talking about, where he's pacing himself, but he still has that fucking hammer. Like Thor hammer or whatever, Brandon. I don't know how my analogy is because I don't follow this Marvel stuff.
Solid Marvel reference. We're 2 for 2 so far.
So that's exactly the best part about it, right? Like this guy is pace mode heavy, like it's great, and he still got that wow whenever the fuck he wants to come through, and it's super dope. I do like the fact, of course, we like the fact that we're coming off a championship. But one of the parts that coming off the championship that's giving me positive vibes is the negatives that happened. Like you said, there was always stuff that happened that people are like, look, the Lakers are going to lose. That are giving me hope when I see some problems now that I'm okay, cool, but they can work on those things, right? Remember, I made a big deal of that play. There was a certain play in the playoffs against the Nuggets where fucking the Joker just bodied him. Remember, it was one of those plays I was like, he just moved him like to the under the court, and he just took AD to the under the court and just scored without a hesitation. And I was like, look, I mean, he could have at least made himself a little bit of an annoyance, of a nuisance, instead of just basically letting him walk in. And I think Embiid had a couple plays in today's game like that, where it was like, yo, man, where it made me feel like, man, like, damn, AD, you're great, but like sometimes you're letting some of these guys just straight up move you like the fuck they want.
Yeah, I do want to counter. I think that was the game he hit the game winner.
Yeah, no, it was. But I'm saying,
okay.
But this
No,
game,
but you're right. He doesn't
this
have
game
the
we didn't
size
hit the
those
game winner,
dudes
right?
have.
They hit it on
No.
us.
Yeah, Tobias Harris, man. Who would have thought? Well, hey, look,
Right.
he's going to have one game-winning shot when they had to pay him like $500 million. So, I don't think it's a trade-off the Sixers like.
I don't know.
But yeah, you do have a point there. Like, AD is not a center, right? He's not going to take that. He can't take a dude who's 295, 300 pounds, full force backing him down. Like, maybe he can, but it seems like he doesn't want to.
And maybe that's what, like, you're right, because like that's probably why he's making it clear. But it is not even like a I don't want to take the punishment, which might be it, but let's not even go there. It's just he has made it clear, like, he doesn't like taking the 5, so it isn't like he's out here saying I'm the 5, I'm the best 5 out there. You know what I mean? He's basically saying I'm a 4. You motherfuckers make me play 5 when we need to. I'll do that. But at the end of the day, I guess Marc Gasol should be the one that should be out there handling that, right? There was times where Dwight just went out there and said, okay, that's what's happening. Let me go out there and handle that part of the game.
And that's where we do miss Dwight a little bit, right? The athleticism of Dwight. If we do have to play a guy like Embiid in a 7-game series, or I do think the pace will be much faster in a 7-game series against Embiid, right? Mm-hmm. If AD is at the 5, we're going to be,
moving his ass.
This is how, like, hey, you want a Lakers check-in? We're already talking about the fucking finals. We're just like, hey, whoever if we play the fucking finals, it's like, oh, you have a game on Tuesday.
20 games in.
I mean, look, but wouldn't you? I mean, like, you look at the squad and it's like, realistically, we're looking at Western Conference Finals. Like, that's the bare minimum for this season. We should smoke any other team that comes our way, and until the Clippers, because the Clippers are built to beat us. And I don't know if they can, but no. That's the design, right, Mike?
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. That doesn't mean the end result.
I'm not trying to say that they will, mainly because they're led by Paul George. But
still not.
But that's how the lab was, right, Brendan? That's what the lab was thinking. They were like, this is going to work for this and this. And at the end 100%. Of the day, we're yet to see it work, but that's what they want to do. That's for sure.
I mean, they didn't even get the opportunity last year, and then they wanted to blame us. And it's like, look, say the Lakers left out. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, come on now. Like, that's rule number 1 of losing is you can't blame the team that won.
Sure.
For you sure. Guys show up. Like, so that's your fault. You lost.
Yeah, once you lose, you got to really start shutting the fuck up pretty soon, pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Denver didn't complain.
No, they
you know what I mean? And they showed up.
They're probably just happy to get out of the bubble. Well, the Clippers are for sure happy to get out of that bubble.
But hey, the Clippers are back, and Brendan is saying the truth. No matter how much we're confident, that team's real, and that team is definitely in the West. If we want to get it done, we definitely have to go through them. Doesn't mean we're doubting it, but that's a real foe. It isn't like this.
Yeah, they're 100% formidable, and they might even have the best record in the West just because they have something to prove. And we saw these in the Kobe and Shaq championships that every year after the first year 67-15, the next year a lot less, and I think the third year they're like in 3rd or 4th place, like and then even in the podcast that I did, they're 23 and 23 or 24 and 23, like like that drive just happens less and less and less.
Well, because it becomes what you said. We've been saying at the beginning. At a certain point, it isn't the cockiness. It's the team, the setup, what's going on. When you're thinking 7 games, right? We said, right? Every team that you're really looking at realistically, when you're that mentality, that's just how it really realistically works. Doesn't matter if it's week 2 or towards the end of the season. At this point, when you're at the moment where it's championship or bust, every single thing you're doing is what you're thinking. Because what happens is, if you're not thinking like that, you become these teams that overreact because you lost to a team that had this crazy weird lineup that beat you once, and you felt like you got to do something. when you realistically, you're like, yeah, but can they do that 3 more times? And if the answer is no, then why the fuck are you worried about overcorrecting for that one team?
Exactly.
You know, that's where we're at right now, where it's like, okay, you know, some teams are going to give us some problems, but are they going to beat us 4, or are they going to be able to stop us from winning 4? You know what I mean? And that's where the Lakers are at. So no matter how much it seems like you said, damn, we can't help ourselves besides start talking finals from the rip. I mean, that's the mission, right, boys? Like, that's what the fuck we're talking about here. There's no I mean, if you're a Laker, if somebody that's on the team right now that's not understanding, then of course that's the 100% goal. And not like every team that says that's our goal. I mean, like realistically, that's our fucking goal. You know, you're in the wrong place, right? Like everybody in LA knows what the fuck the goal is, and not for the Clippers, right? It's for the Lakers. So that's why I think, like you said, the Clippers probably trying to get that #1 overall record, all that crazy shit, because the Lakers are just looked at. We're just waiting for, are you going to win it again or not? That's the only thing.
Yep, and to be honest, if they can, who knows if fans are going to be allowed back in games when it's time the playoffs are around. And if the Clippers are looking for any edge they can get, and if their floor can say Clippers, even though the majority of fans that come to these games are going to be Laker fans anyway, but if their floor says Clippers 100%, if their floor says Clippers, that might be a mental thing for them. You know, if they get to block out the jerseys or do whatever kind of bullshit they do, they're looking for that, because the Lakers aren't going to put on these blue classic jerseys. You know, these are linked to fucking championships. You know, these are linked to Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. You know, Wilt never donned these blue ones, but these are some great players. Gail Goodrich wore these, so these are some classic jerseys. And boy, I thought the blue one was going to be my favorite, but I like the white one.
Oh my god, that white one's stupid, dog. That white one was so nice,
gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I would love to see the Lakers court decked out in that icy white. That would be so dope.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
I do like how we gave it a modern twist. So, and I say we because I was involved. No, I'm just kidding. I was not.
Yeah,
I say we because I'm part of the Lakers familia, as we all are. And that's one thing I think the Lakers have done really, really good. Really, really good. They have done a very good job in this pandemic is extending that Lakers family mantra. They haven't raised a banner yet until fans are coming back. Those are all awesome things that I feel it's just a touch from a franchise who is so in tune with their fan base.
Exactly.
No.
Right. I just want to add, you know, we're over here already thinking finals. You know why? Because we're reigning, defending. So until that changes, we're right there. You got to beat us. And it goes through the Lakers, not the Clippers, Brandon. But one more other thing I wanted to add. It was pretty cool that AD and LeBron, prior to the day of the 1 year anniversary, both had monster games.
Yeah. I mean, like we know how much this is. Like you know, I basically talked about that segment, talking about how much I was trying to avoid certain things. And I'm just Jack, you know, normal dude, podcaster, right? And you know, you can imagine, like, if you're AD and LeBron, who this is mentor, friend, colleague, you know, competitor, all of the coach, friend, brother, you know, all these crazy things. It's got to be crazy. You know, that's just on you all the time. I know people mention, but you hear all these players that just how much is they think about it all the time. So dropping, I mean, it's like anything else, right? That's when you're the G like that. The perfect way to pay homage to a guy like the Mamba is go beast. If you really want to go ahead and pay homage to me, don't say a lot. Just go out there and go ahead and go
60.
I wish I had that Kobe drop. More.
And that definitely was one of the commercials out there, right, where he's talking about
what the fuck are you talking about, Kobe Bryant?
He's like more.
That Kanye one? Oh man, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was but yeah, right, that's that mentality, but that was just a commercial. But the reason why those commercials are dope and why they touch a little bit extra right after the passing is how much the silliness of, like, we talk about this all the time, the way Kobe talked and the stuff he said about the game and the way he referenced it. It's like you would be laughing at this man, like straight up. You would be like, "Who is this? This is silliness." unless you saw his game. Like, right. So like when people talk about the serious dedication, it sounds too silly when like you see their game and nothing of it shows that they have that dedication and all that. Fools talk about blood and sweat and tears, and you're like, really? It doesn't seem like it. And with Kobe, with these commercials, how he said more and all that kind of stuff. Those stuff was crazy because when you saw every part of every game we got to see, I mean, damn, it was more. So, it's crazy. Here we are going back to Kobe as opposed to the finals, Lakers, and all the other stuff we should be talking about.
Well, no, because it's time to move on to the NFL anyway, so we can always talk about Kobe as a segue.
For sure. But hey, speaking of segues, before we segue again, real quick, you definitely got to check out Bean, the podcast. It's on, where you need to be at whenever you listen to your podcast. That's where it's going to be at, and then it's also on YouTube. So, it's going to be for the people that don't want us to end this segment and want us to keep talking Kobe forever. Definitely give this definitely check it out. I'm super excited, super happy for Brandon because this is something that I know he's been wanting to do. So really, really check it out. It's a dope project, and not just Kobe heads, but pretty much NBA people that are gonna get to. I mean, look, the Knicks got to live vicariously through this episode, right? Maybe not in a positive way, or maybe whatever, but it's still. Those kind of
they got we shouted out players like Michael Doliak, Othello Harrington, some of the classics of the NBA that you may have forgotten. Spreewell, so we're gonna release like one episode per month, and we're gonna, because we have to watch these games and go over them, take notes. So it's gonna be a fun project because I love watching basketball, and I haven't had time to do much lately. And just to set a time, it's it's like watching film. And so it's. Because when my son starts playing basketball, you better believe we're gonna be in that film room, elbow up, son.
There you go.
Speaking of players that are going to be great coaches one day, let's move on to Tom Brady because he seems like he's going to follow that Kobe path. Hopefully, not exactly. But Tom Brady's back in the Super Bowl, and he's playing his good old friend Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if they're friends. They might be, probably not.
And if they're friends, there's something wrong with the man. Because why are you friends with a little boy like that?
Maybe he wants to kiss him on the lips too. Mahomes is taken though. I guess so is Brady. So they're playing each other along with their teammates. It's not just going to be those two. It's not a one-on-one game. But before that, there was a couple of games this past Sunday, and I want to get your thoughts on them. I was able to actually watch majority of both of these games, which is quite an accomplishment nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And
me too. And if you didn't follow
no, please,
but
hell yeah, Mike live tweeted both games,
right?
And so it actually helped me because I had to step away and do some things, with my kid, and it was extremely helpful to. Hell yeah, man! That shit was extremely helpful to have something because I have alerts some Twitter accounts. And ours is one of them. So getting your tweets was perfect because I was able to see exactly what happened. I was like, oh yeah, if I have to change my son's diaper, I have a fistful of poop. I'm just like, hell yeah, my good shit. I can look it up. My watch tells me what's going on. So I'm just like this.
They didn't get the first down, Brandon.
Oh shit.
Right.
So let's get into the first game, which was I can't even remember at this point. No, it was the NFC game.
First game was the Bucks and
Packers.
the Packers.
And we last recorded December 4th, and so obviously a lot has transpired since then. Packers and Bucks made it this far. We knew the Packers were going to get this way. They had one of the best teams in the league. Did the right team win?
Yes.
Yes. To me.
Yep. Yes. Definitely not the best team, not the better team, but even then, maybe right. But definitely the right team won. The stuff towards the end, the way the Packers handled a lot of the situation. This is a team that almost comes almost off as like wanting to lose, like just going out of the way to lose.
Home field advantage. You had all the opportunities, and you didn't capitalize. That's how I viewed the game.
The punt. The punt. There was a punt that everybody's talking about in America. Why you over here punting, giving the ball to Tom Brady instead of going for it on fourth with Aaron fucking Rodgers?
No, that was a field goal. They kicked the field goal instead of
why do Eddie and this happens in the next game too? Why do teams do that? I just don't understand why they give the ball. I mean, we know,
They were confident because look in the second,
right? We know why. If you can see me, I'm doing air quotes, but it doesn't sit right with a lot of people, probably including all of us, I imagine.
No, because you got to know it's right. Know your personnel, right? Isn't that's the situation you got to talk about? Because at the end of the day, his reasoning, if you want to listen to it, like just in a vacuum, right? If you're not watching the game, if
and
you're
this
just
is
hearing
LaFleur you're talking about,
player, yeah. If you're hearing player A, player B, and coach A, coach E, right? Basically, his reasoning is you saw that they missed like the 2-point conversion early on, right? And I think they were kind of struggling. So I think his reasoning was something like, we were, being down 8, the way they were playing, having to score touchdown and a 2-point conversion didn't really seem likely. More of the odds was going to be kick the field goal, right? And come back and not having to go for the 2-point conversion, just get the touchdown based on how the Packers are playing, which he's right. Because one thing that, how you said that the right team win, it's, Brady threw 2 picks towards the end, and the Packers straight up went 2 straight back, 3 and outs on those, which was some straight up like, you deserve to lose. That's like, recipe for like saying, I don't want to go to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, if you're LaFleur and you're watching this happen, I get that part of it, right? But at the same time, like we just went to how I started, know your personnel. But at the end of the day, fuck what everything says. You got Aaron Rodgers on your team. That changes everything. Adams. But even Aaron Rodgers, he could be 0 for 40. I'm going with Aaron. I'm trusting Aaron, like, to give it to Davante or do what he wants to do. But I'm trusting him with the rock in his hand. I'm not kicking a fucking field goal and giving Tom Brady the ball where he doesn't have to score shit. He just has to get a couple first downs. You know what I mean? That is not the situation I think any sane person or anybody that's been watching the NFL in the last fucking 20 years wants to put themselves in. Who the fuck says, you know what, the best move right now is let's give Tom Brady the rock? That's just never. That's just that.
And being down.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like they had a lead. It's different. It's a difference if you have a lead, but when you're down, and I agree. I'm not saying in their defense, but they were having the better second half, and I guess LaFleur must have felt like his defense was going to get it done, but they didn't get it done. Not even throughout even though they were better in the second half, the Patriots had already.
Yeah, and if you don't know your personnel, if you don't at least want to know your personnel, then know their personnel, right? Well, their guy is Tom freaking fucking Brady. You know what I mean? Not even Tom freaking or Tom fucking. It's Tom freaking fucking Brady. This man is gonna get that
Add him
done.
up.
So what are you doing? You know what I mean? What are you fucking doing? You know how people look at what is that shit that they look at, the sheet that they have where the probabilities and all this stuff, all the analytics that these coaches look at.
Yep.
Somewhere in that sheet, it should have a big ass stat in red that says, "Oh, don't give the rock to Tom Brady."
Yeah,
don't give the ball to Tom Brady.
Says
right,
49%. 49% of Super Bowls in the last 20 years have been played by Tom Brady. So how about that stat, you fucking morons? Like,
what are the numbers?
Yeah,
don't give
Tom Brady. Tom Brady's more likely to get to the Super Bowl than Steph Curry is to hit a 3, bro.
Then you are to have a winning. Have a winning season with that man. But yeah,
but that's what LaFleur was doing, right? But that's what happens when you get in your fucking head.
Right. And this is crazy though. I think we can all agree that the MVP is going to be Aaron Rodgers.
It's a regular season award.
Correct. Right, and like you just said, the fact that you didn't put the ball in the hands of the MVP, that just kind of like you gave, not that you gave the game away, but you said, Eric, you did everything to lose.
You're coaching scared, dog. That's what the fuck. What are you doing?
You're playing way too conservative.
That's an L all day long. Like you don't want to be, when you're a player and you got nothing to say with the play calls or anything. The last thing I think you want is a coach that's coaching fucking scared, dog. At that point, what the fuck are we here for? So
right.
Aaron Rodgers' comments, of course, were pretty much echoing ours. What the fuck are we doing here, kicking a field goal? Did I want to kick a field goal there? Of course not. I mean, what the fuck? You get what I'm saying? But that being said, it sounds like we're making this more about how they shit, which is true. But hey, the Bucks did their thing, right? They had what is it, maybe 4 or 5 sacks. They had a good amount of fucking sacks. They were 5,
five, because there was 3 from Barrett and 2 from
they
JPP.
might have even had 6, but you're fucking
great.
right. It was
man.
It was and that's what I think. Obviously, if we'll talk about it later on. But like that's what the recipe should be moving forward for the next game, right? Like just that pressure is it's what it is. That's always a game changer in the NFL, right? Get after the quarterback, you're gonna have good results, and
score points and get after the quarterback.
And that was able to do a lot because again, like. Tom Brady didn't have the greatest of fucking games, but just like we said,
second half was bad.
Well,
once
just
again.
like we said, he's gonna get there. He's gonna get there. It doesn't matter. Look, when he already had the lead, and then he has a defense that did all right. Obviously enough to not let the game get out of hand, and then you say, again, all you have to do at that point is say, okay, now just go get a couple first downs. Everything is over for Tom Brady at that moment. Like you know what I mean? That's something he could like always do. Like he's gonna next season if he doesn't come back or the one after that, it isn't because he can't do this.
Yeah,
it's because he probably can't do 16 games plus this. But he can show up and do this, dog. Like that, Tom Brady's gonna be able to do for fucking ever, dog.
Kirk Cousins can get a first down like that.
No, but I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Like, no, but for sure, like and he makes a shitload of money. But yeah, it's Brady. Look, the Chiefs
who they're gonna fucking play next week saw in the fucking a couple years ago in the AFC playoffs with that offsides and shit, where it's like that's what I mean. It isn't even just game wise, like you said. It's Tom Brady's gonna get somehow it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
the guy's gonna win. Like those moments go to him. They go to him. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy. When you're watching it, right? We're seeing it in front of unravel in front of our eyes. We're like, what the fuck? This man is about to head to his 10th fucking Super Bowl. 10. 10 is the number that you throw when you know how we were saying like that guy's been to a lot of Super Bowls. You say 10 because that's a fake number. You say, damn fool, that fool's
in existence.
Yeah, homie's been
franchise.
To like 10 fucking Super Bowls. Because that's a number that no one's ever gotten. And no one
that's
will.
A number like a millionaire exaggerates the amount of Super Bowls he's been to. I've been to 10.
Exactly. So and it suits the man, right? It comes to that point.
Yeah.
That's the point where we're at now, where it just seems like that's what the Super Bowl is. It's the game that Tom Brady plays.
Eric, you'll like this one. He has the hair and the looks of a guy who makes 10 Super Bowls. He has it.
He does. He's a fucking winner. That's just what it is.
He's a fucking rock star, dude. I had 2 points that I wanted to that turned out to be like the 2 plays of the game, right? Number 1 was the Brady throw to Scotty Miller just before the first half. The fastest man, faster than Tyreek Hill, apparently. That's what he says. That was the play of the game. That
confident
throw
too.
Was as good as I've seen. Like that was Brady gave it everything. That was a really good throw. Because he threw some. We've seen some good throws from Brady, and not like Peyton Manning ducks. Those were the not okay. Look, there's Vinny Testaverde.
Those are lame ducks.
Then there's Peyton Manning Broncos duck, and then there's kind of what we saw from Breeze, and I think then Brady is under that because Breeze was like essentially underhanding balls this year.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But like I wanted to go back to just to play this choice to kick a field goal, right? Because the floor's logic, whoever makes this logic, is they still have to score twice. And they're saying that we can't score on a 2-point conversion if we score a touchdown. So they think it's easier to drive the entire field, score a touchdown against a team that you've struggled with in the second half, or you're literally at the goal line. If you're going to score twice, why not get 2 shots from inside the 10?
Exactly.
Right? Like if you have to score, it doesn't. It's so.
And the 2-point conversion that he wasn't confident in, they didn't fucking miss.
It's from the 3. It's the 3-yard line.
No, but what I mean, the one that they missed earlier in the game, it wasn't like they fucked up. It was a dropped. It was dropped. They got it. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you did do it. It just, obviously it didn't execute it, right? But like, bro, like, and again, know your fucking. It's Aaron Rodgers. This is the end. Look,
personnel.
If Aaron Rodgers, this is again, know your personnel, not just because of what he's capable of, but who the fuck he is. Who in America was shocked that Aaron Rodgers' passive aggressive ass was out there just saying, who knows if I'm fucking out of here? Yeah, fuck this place. Like, Aaron Rodgers will never hold back to throw you straight up, right up under that bus.
He'll drive it over you. Look, Aaron Rodgers got gray beard.
And running back one time.
He's got grays in his beard now. Like, you can't throw these opportunities away. These are shrinking for him.
Not on
and if you know he's going to do that, just let him go out there and
any season, to be honest.
He's going to act like that afterwards. Just let him go out there and fuck it up, right? Go for it on fourth and let him throw a pick or a duck or fuck it up or whatever the fuck the case is. But that's way the fuck better than doing. Hey, fuck, man. I know it sucks because you kind of want to go away from it because it's such a macho sport, right? But I'm sorry. I know that it shouldn't, but it's just such a pussy call. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just that's just what I'm saying about it. It's hard to get behind a coach, and in the end, when you need confidence to work. I just hope you called the right shit. I'm gonna execute it because I'm trusting in you, right? But when you're coaching like a with these calls, you're just like, this is pussy shit. Yeah,
like
this is not
for sure.
That's how you end up not getting to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Pussies don't go to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Back to back, so NFC Championship losses. This is the equivalent of you need 10 yards, I throw it 2 times a million. Because you cost yourself a chance to get to a very winnable Super Bowl.
Dude, and shout out to Tony Kornheiser, dude, that it reminded me at least that I was like, God damn, when he was talking about Aaron Rodgers, he's like, one thing you got to remember, Aaron Rodgers, he's 1-4 now in NFC championships. He's like, that's Donovan McNabb territory, bro.
Ooh.
That's no matter how much you want to slice it. Tom Brady already has got the same amount of NFC championships than fucking Aaron Rodgers.
And Andrew Brady.
It
took a 1 year.
Yeah, so this is the kind of shit that, you know what I mean? That
shit crazy, and they're legends.
Facts.
So
big facts.
Tom Brady is a slave. He just slays them all. Like, he beats the young ones, he beats the old ones. That motherfucker's out there. So look, but this young buck that he's got to face.
That's a great segue. Else. But let me ask you this, all both of you. Who did you want to win this game? Who are you going for if you had a rooting option?
Wait for the Super Bowl or the NFC?
Did you want the Packers or did you want the Bucks?
Well, me, even though I'm gonna go first. Me, because of like the history, Favre only lost to us once. Fuck the Packers, and because of my cousin Chuck. Shout out to Chuck, by the way.
Shout out to Chuck. Shout out to Bucks.
Yeah, shout out to Charles.
Me, to be real with you, I didn't. I had no rooting interest, but I will say that I thought the Packers were gonna win. So I guess if my rooting interest would have been for me to be correct, then I guess the Packers would have been the thing. But like,
that's always honestly, it's for you.
Fight me right now.
It's more of a selfish root, but it wasn't because I was rooting for. What the fuck am I? I'm not rooting for the Packers ever.
I agree.
And
like I said,
again, like even Tom Brady, if somebody's tuning in for the first time, they're probably going to assume that we're like the greatest Tom Brady fans. That's not at all the case. It's just goats are goats, and you got to call them like it is. You know what I mean? Like, and if you want to come out here and you want to say that you're going to be talking football and you're going to kind of talk about that the 10 appearances ain't a big deal, then you need to shut the fuck up and just not talk football. Like, I'm just saying, like, this man got to 10 and he has 6. So what are we doing here? What the fuck are we talking
about? What's the point of this game, right? If you're not going to discuss some of the winners, I definitely thought the Packers were going to win. I thought it was going, and even the start of the game was a little shocking to me. So, congrats to Tom Brady, congrats to Bruce Arians, and Leonard Fournette, who has been the luckiest. Jeez, man, he went from worst to first. Congratulations, or almost first. So let's talk about the AFC game. You want to say something, Mike?
No. I was just gonna say, Leonard Fournette went from.
So you get it done. You bitch and moan. You play like shit. You get cut, and then you get signed up by Tom Brady's team.
get cut, and then
it's the new.
And then Brady
James Harden.
cosigns.
Shit, right?
Brady
James Harden.
cosigns.
You just get fat. You
Right?
suck. You play like shit, and you go end up where you want.
Well, that definitely worked for AB.
Oh, yeah. Well, he didn't play like complete shit though. He just faked an injury. So, hey, I'm hurt this game, and he also said that.
Yeah, he's gonna suit up though. Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, he's gonna suit up.
Well, for Anthony Davis, the one thing that I don't like about the situation is that he said that's all, folks, had nothing to do with him. I'm like, okay, buddy, okay, yeah, sure thing.
Relax.
Let's not do that.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. So the AFC Championship game, the Bills and the Chiefs. I will admit immediately that I had a rooting interest for the Chiefs, the Bills. I wanted the Bills to win. I'm still a little bitter about the Chiefs beating us in the Super Bowl last year, and the Chiefs they don't need anybody to root for them. They're already good. They don't need anybody else rooting for them. What do you guys think of this game? Oh, and by the way, the Chiefs won, and it ended up being not even close.
The game went kind of like how I know this didn't matter because it's not like that proved me right, but I ended up being right. So when the game was happening and they were down, right? When they scored a touchdown to go up, and instead of going up 10-0, it went 9-0. I remember that me making it like that little sly comment saying, "See that stupid little mistake is gonna cost them the fight." Because you're gonna cost you, right? Catapult you, and I don't mean pretty much, but I mean everybody in the league has to play perfect to beat the Chiefs at this point. So that was one of those indicators of like, oh, bro, you're missing extra points, and what are we doing here? Like, I thought we were for real here. I thought we were trying. I thought you guys were gonna try to do this. Thanks for letting me know. And that was that's that they were ahead, because 9 points, 10 points, that ain't shit for fucking Pat Mahomes. So. This game is going to be interesting because one thing that I do feel is, if Tom Brady does the same kind of game, the Chiefs aren't going to do what the Packers did. They are going to close. They are going to come back, and they are going to give the rock to the right guy, and they are going to make the right call. They're not going to do it that way. So Tom Brady doesn't get to throw 2 picks in the fucking in the second half without any consequences. That I don't see happening at all against the Chiefs. Tom Brady threw 3 picks, didn't he? I think total, or at least yeah. So
three.
That's got to be closer to 1, and that 1 has got to be like completely a meaningless one. That's the kind of game that I feel like the Pats have to play, because I think again like that. I mean the Bucks. What did I say, Pats?
Yeah.
So the Bucks. Yeah.
Gronk thought he won
the title. He's also had a concussion for the last 2 years. Yeah,
like 7.
He is a concussion. Right. That fool is just a concussion. So
still walking brain bleed.
But this is a dope game because it's the GOAT against who everybody pretty much is already anointed as the future GOAT. And that's not a hate. That's a pretty much. It's kind of hard to argue with the success this dude's having. I mean, he's just beast mode with the level of quarterback play he has right now. But Tom Brady again has that shit that we just talked about, that that shit that it's just like, yo, this guy just gets it done. You know what I mean? It's just the fixer, right? That cat to just call this guy. There's an issue, there's a problem, just hit up Brady, and that's what the Bucks are doing, right? Like that's what the thing. Why I feel like Aaron Rodgers probably was. Even though that's just his vibe, like, but I do think that also had to do with why he was kind of feeling the way he was feeling. Like, I think some of these guys are saying, wait a minute, man. If the right team is fucking with you the right way, you can go some spot and just win fucking year 1. Because that's, what I mean? Like, that's the shit that Brady just did. Not everybody's Brady, but at the same time, the cockiness, if you're a good quarterback, you got to think, yeah, Brady's Brady, but I'm at least fucking younger than this motherfucker. You know what I mean? And Aaron Rodgers got to think he can go to Chicago, go to fucking the Chargers or wherever I don't know. Not the Chargers, I mean, they got their quarterback now. But I mean, go wherever the fuck he wants to go. The Niners, shit, go somewhere else. And he got to believe that team is just a me away from getting the job done. Because the Packers have me, like Mike said, MVP me, and are kicking field goals. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck's going on here is really what the fuck is what I think he's gotta be thinking. And a lot of these other quarterbacks that are thinking, like the Deshaun Watsons, are probably thinking, hey, if I go somewhere else, I can get it done right away. It isn't like the same shit people were sold before, where like, nah, man, you don't want to make that move because you're probably gonna suck for a while. Shit, even fucking Phillip Rivers wasn't doing that. He had a nice little run to go out the way he did. You get what I mean? So I don't know, man. I think Aaron might not just be talking shit, might be ready to get the fuck on out of there. For real though.
Yeah, but what about this fucking game? You just went full like 180 back to Aaron Rodgers.
I was like,
you didn't even mention the Bills. I was like, oh, this fool's going way back to free
agency.
Yeah,
no. The Bills. Well, I felt like the Bills. They did. I mean, obviously they didn't show up, but.
I was like, no way. Yeah. I'm like, Tom Brady's balling. This has got to be rubbing Aaron Rodgers. Let's go back to this guy.
We just went back to the NFC. Fuck the AFC.
No, but the Bills. Dude. No, but you're right about the Bills.
It just came back to that fucking field goal, dude.
The Bills laid an egg. The Bills shit the bed.
They missed the extra point.
Straight up. There's no other way to like really explain it. Like. They've been offensively good. Defensively, they had been better than average, and neither one of that showed up on Sunday.
The most vanilla, basic-ass way to explain it without zero information given is straight up the Bills. The Bills play the kind of game that's never going to beat the Chiefs. That's just not going to get it done.
Yeah. Not going to beat anybody.
Well, no, they could get
No. Mike's right, especially the Chiefs. Right? Look, it came down to that field goal.
Right.
I think they were down like it was 17. Something or whatever. So,
9, whatever the fuck they were down to. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you're right. And I think they kicked it, and it should have been because they could have been down like 17-14, whatever it was. And it's like, if you kick that field goal and make it like 17-12 or what is it? Like Mahomes can come down and score 7 points within 5 seconds, and then you're down by double.
Two throws done.
You have to score against the Chiefs, and you have to be aggressive early and make them come back. Like the reason that was the game plan the Niners played in the Super Bowl. Still didn't work because the Niners didn't put up enough points. Like Mahomes is going to get 30 in his
second half.
This dude is a monster. You have to, take advantage of any opportunity. The Bills didn't, and it was a wrap. Like a game was over at halftime.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the extra point, straight up, don't trust your fucking kicker if you're playing the fucking Chiefs. Don't even trust the kicker. I would rather fucking punt or go for it on fourth every single time.
Yeah, I was going to say a punter is the better player at that point.
I'm not going fucking – there's no way I'm kicking field goals against the Chiefs in the playoffs. That's just not my route. That's not what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's just not the way I'm going. The only way I'm kicking a field goal is there's 3 seconds left, and that's the one that's winning the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, like Brandon said, what the fuck? You cut it to 5. They come – Mahomes comes back and makes that 12 real quick. All of a sudden, all your stupid math it's pointless. You know what I'm saying? It's at a certain point, my bad, to use the same language, go back to at a certain point, you got to stop pussing out. Do you want to make the Super Bowl or not? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? It's we've seen it over and over. We've seen it with our team, other times, and we've even gotten there, not won it, right? But like being the best team doesn't guarantee it. Like getting there is tough as fuck. It needs luck, it needs skill, it needs so many fucking things. And not having the fucking guts, balls, whatever you want to call it, to make the actual right call, or to, at least the right mentality to stay in that game that you're actually in at that moment, then you have no fucking chance. Mahomes is like a shark, bro. He's going to see that shit and be like, you're done, dude. You're fucking done.
Yeah, you got to look across the sideline and be like, all right, well, this guy is on his way to multiple Super Bowls. So we can stop him right now, potentially. But he didn't.
But no, we're kicking field goals out here.
Yep. So quickly, because I'm sure we'll talk about this before the Super Bowl, or if not, what are your thoughts on this game? I know we're excited about the matchup at the quarterback position. Any other matchups that you're looking forward to when it comes to defense or offense? The head coaches, Bruce Arians versus Andy Reid. So a bunch of fat white guys who might have some funny shield mask combination fuck up. So that could be exciting.
I'm convinced that
Whose shield fogs up first? No.
I'm convinced Arians is just doing it to fuck with people because that shit is what the fuck is that? That mask is like, he's trolling everybody. Like that is on some. No one is purposely that.
Arians or
Bruce Arians? Like I mean, my bad, Arians.
You're talking about Andy
no,
Reid.
fucking
Well, they both have crazy masks, and they both kind of look alike, even though one's bald.
Agreed.
But that's definitely not the first matchup I'm looking forward to. I am curious to see like the receivers. There's a lot of dynamic receivers on each side. Kelsey's essentially replacing Gronk as the most elite tight end in the league. Kittle's right up there too. You cannot mention tight ends without Kittle, which I hear some people mentioning. I'm just like, okay, well, it's Kelsey and Kittle, and then there's nobody else.
No,
at that level.
But Kelsey's doing it right. He was in the Super Bowl doing it last year. Now he's
back
there again.
and he plays and he gets receiver numbers. So he gets the ball a ton. So I'm looking forward to that. I think Gronk could have a nice game, and there's just a lot of weapons here, right? Tampa's got 3 wide receivers that Brady throws the ball to, and pretty much so do the Chiefs. So I think. I know a lot of people are taking the under, but I like the over here. I don't think there's a lot. Usually Super Bowls have like tightness, right?
Yeah.
This one, I don't feel that. These quarterbacks now, Brady's been in 10, so there's no tightness there. And I think he's.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say. Like use it. Like what I want. What I'm interested in is the first quarter, right? Because I do feel Tom Brady is gonna be out there like just a regular fucking game, and the fact that Pat Mahomes, even though he doesn't have the Tom Brady experience, he was there just last year.
Yeah, just last year, man.
We do talk about this all the time, right? There's, we see it in basketball, we see it in all the league. There's a certain extra level you kick it up a notch when you know how to at least, like, even boxers talk about this. When you're a champion, like I learned, like I eat at the right fucking time, like just everything, right? Like in the NBA, like how to handle the media, how to do every part of winning a fucking Super Bowl. Brady's done it. And look, he's so great. He even lost a couple just to learn how to win the other ones. You know what I'm saying? Like this motherfucker has done it all. So I'm very interested in that first quarter. And I think you're right. Maybe that under is not the right call, but also with Tom Brady, it's kind of hard for me going the over. But at the same time, whenever Pat Mahomes is involved, fuck whoever else is, just go ahead and go with the over. You know what I mean? So I can see why you're thinking that.
Yeah, I just think there's like a lot of looseness there, right? These quarterbacks can kind of just they're very skilled and familiar with their teams and offenses, even though Brady's in his first year. But what are you thinking, Mike? How you feeling about this game?
The Super Bowl?
Shit. Yeah. I'm like, shit. I don't. Obviously it's going to be a good game, but
I think I'll watch it. Mike's like, I think I'll watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to like. I think Brady's going to get it done. To be honest.
Damn, you think the Bucs are going to get it done? This is an early call. I like it.
I'll take the Bucs, and I'm going to bet on that.
I'm gonna bet on that. I'm gonna pull a field goal. I'm too much of a pussy to make a call right now. I'm gonna kick a field goal right now. I'm
taking the Bucs. I'm gonna take the. Hey,
I've actually become the next coach of the Green Bay Packers. I gotta get off this call. I gotta go make decisions about kicking field goals next season. I don't know who's gonna win this.
That's why you're home. That's why you're home and Brady's here.
That's a good point.
Straight up, but yeah, I'll roll with Brady. He's been 10. That shit's never been done. I'm gonna roll with Brady.
I like that. I didn't know we were making calls today, but I kind of like that one. Gutsy.
Yeah, I'm not ready to make the calls today either, but like I can definitely see the. I look at it like this. The one good thing that so far about the game, without seeing who my prediction is, it's not a 100% like ass whooping. Like I'm not over here thinking, the Chiefs for sure.
Right. I don't think they're gonna
or
smash.
the Bucks for sure.
No, I don't think they're gonna smash. But I think Brady's
yeah. But even the Chiefs, right? One might think that you're looking at like Mahomes to just even be better than he was last Super Bowl, right? So, but at the same time, we just said it over and over. This guy, Tom Brady, he's just that dude. So, it's crazy. Like again, I'm not making no prediction. I'm just excited to see what the fuck happens. So again, that first quarter, right? I want to see how chill these dudes are, because that to me is super interesting as fuck. Whenever you just see Tom Brady just looking like chill mode out there in the craziest of situations, that's the kind of GOAT shit that he does sometimes that I'm interested in seeing in this Super Bowl.
Yeah, for the AFC Championship though, like we said, Bills didn't show up, but I was expecting more, I guess, from Josh Allen and the offense, and they didn't show up. Neither did the defense, and the defense had been better than average for the pretty much season.
They had some off games, but for the most part, you're right. They were clean, and again,
better than average. I wouldn't say average because there was games where they played like top 5, but there was games where they were kind of mediocre, and that's why I said a little better than average, maybe, but the offense for sure. I didn't expect them not to score any points. That was kind of like, damn, okay,
yeah, right. You thought it was gonna be a shootout.
Like Stephon Diggs balled out. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Like I thought they were gonna match. Like whoever had the last possession was gonna win the game, but nah, that didn't happen. The Bills. They got, they scored their points. I guess they got the lead early and just kind of were like hanging around, but they didn't really score after that.
I think the Super Bowl actually is going to be very high scoring. I thought it was going to be maybe 36, 33, 30. I think both teams will score over 30. So that's my prediction.
I agree.
There.
So I roll with the Bucks, and you guys are not calling that.
Nah, hell no, I'm good.
Not yet.
I ain't breaking Mike like
you.
No, but I like it.
No, good call. I'm just not ready.
Let's do.
Well, if we're betting, the underdog will
you ain't lying about that. Let's do one more segment, which Mike brought up, and I think it's a really, really good segment.
All right.
I'm trying to think what is it called? I'm trying to look through because I didn't write it down in my notes because I'm a huge idiot. All right, so here we go. We're just gonna pick, because the pandemic's now been affecting us for at least LA County. Things have been shut down for a long time, since March, and even though things are kind of opening back up, we want to use this segment to shout out Valley restaurant, shops, whatever that you've been using or we've been using over the last few months. So, Mike, your idea. Let's start it off. What do you want to recommend to the people?
The shop that I've been going to, like if we're going to go off the last month, Museum or Green Earth, Van Nuys.
Oh, all right. So that's what you've been going for your stuff.
Yeah, Museum in the Valley. If you're in the Valley, go check them out.
And by the way, the Valley, just in case of a Valley, it's San Fernando Valley. By the way,
San Fernando Valley. Yeah.
Yeah, San Fernando Valley. 818.
That's where we're from. And so we're gonna, shout out. It could be a restaurant. It could be a shop. It could be a liquor store. It could be BBS. Yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, like we. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so you're saying Green Earth and Van Nuys?
Green Earth Museum.
Got you.
Same location. Green Earth or Museum. The outside says Museum, but
what is
AKA
it? Woodman,
Green Earth.
Woodman
you pull up. No. It used to be there, but now it's on.
I'm
the
dating
Western
myself.
Bagel, so it's on like I almost want to say
like
Raymer, but not
it's
really.
off of Sepulveda?
I don't remember the cross streets. So if you know where the Western Bagel is.
Of course, I'm a Jew, Mike. I know where that Western Bagel is.
dead end, it'll get you there.
You know, I know that
Western
Western bagel
dank
is.
as fuck for sure.
Oh man, I love that Western bagel.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck it.
You would think that.
My bad.
I'm glad that a lot of Latinos are being exposed to the bagel because it's so delicious and so bready. It's just like pan. Come on, it's the same thing without the sugar, you know. All right, E, what you got for us, man?
Oh well, I wasn't as prepared as you guys were for the spot, but just because I guess I got the recently. One spot that people should check out is there's this spot called Mofongos, which is a Puerto Rican spot right here in North Hollywood. Dank as fuck, dog. Like just Mofongos. You gotta peep it. It's on Lancashire, like maybe like Burbank and Lancashire, around that, you know, that part. But like, just peep it. North Hollywood, Mofongos. Just dank. Puerto Rican food, just super fucking good. And right now with the pandemic, like, you know, it's super easy. Just order it, show up, pick up, and you know, go on about your day. So definitely give them check them out. I definitely think you'll be happy as fuck that you do so.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. Hell yeah. Where's it at again?
It's on Lancashire, so I would say like Lancashire and Burbank, like maybe between Oxnard and Burbank, something around there.
Perfect. Yep, not too far from me at all. Excellent. I'm going to recommend a pizza place that's down the street from me. It's called Ove Pizza. O-V. It used to be a Big Mamas and Papas. Now, if you ever be familiar with the type of pizza they have, it's a very thin crust, not super thin, but New York style pizza, and that's my favorite kind of pizza. This place had kept the same oven, same guys. They just changed up a little bit. The pizza there is always bomb, and you know, my wife and I really like Guido's, but Guido's is too far from us, so we found this one, and it's right here in Studio City. It is on Ventura Boulevard, in between Whitsett and Coldwater. It's almost across from the bowling alley, like right across from Carney's, and so it's like right there. It's in a little shop. It's delicious. The people there are so nice. You know, I've been trying to keep them afloat almost myself with pepperoni pizzas. And I think I've been doing
all day
it.
long.
I think I've single-handedly kept their business. Yeah, and they have really good deals online too. You know, you can use Grubhub, you can use all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. I'm a big pizza guy myself, and yeah, so they're just good people. So, you come to this podcast, you're gonna get Puerto Rican food, you're gonna get some marijuana, you're gonna get some pepperoni pizza, you're gonna go home happy.
Well, there you go.
I don't even know what else. What else is there?
Yeah, so what you do is you show up to the valley, you go where Mike told you to go get some weed, and then go pick up some Puerto Rican and some pizza, because you're gonna have enough appetite, and you'll be straight, man. You'll have yourself a good time in the valley.
And no matter what,
it's hard to do all three of these things and say you didn't have a good time.
Oh yeah, we haven't even got to alcohol yet. So and just imagine when places are actually open again. I think outdoor dining is starting again. I don't know if I'll partake in that, but
same here. Just because usually the first wave is the people that are really waiting to open, and I mean waiting for places to open, and not just waiting, but like waiting enough to, like, they don't give a fuck about no rules. They just want it to be open. So I'm cool off that. I'm cool. I'm good with where. I'm good to go to all the restaurants where, because I've done it myself, where it's like, oh, you guys are kind of too packed. I'm all right. Like, I don't have to get a spot. Like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, some spots, it's like, no, we'll find you a spot. Like, nah, I don't need that at all.
And I think that's part of the post-traumatic stress that we're all gonna have from this, is seeing crowds and be like,
Yeah, well, because pickup is working so easily for me at this point. Like, so the pickup has gotten so good in so many spots that I'm just like, nah, man, pick this up and go on about my day. That sounds like definitely the better move.
Oh, 100%.
Shit, even the fucking Habit, you know, there's a Habit, right?
Eric, the Habit is so bomb.
They had this. This.
Shout out to the Habit. Oh my god, it's so delicious.
Yeah. So they have this a 4-pack meal, where it's like you get like 4 sodas, 4 drinks, 4 fries, kind of shit. And you know, Brandon, you're gonna see what's up with this. I say this all the time, like, man, the best thing about being a family of 3 is a lot of shit is set up for 4. So what you do is, as a dad, you always hook up that extra meal. Like, you're that dude. Like, all right, we'll take the 4 burgers, I'll just eat 2. We'll just I'll
get some fries.
The fries is not as easy for me to dominate and take over because everybody wants fries. So that's a little bit more of a communal thing. But like for sure, the habit. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, get that habit. It's like $25, $20.
Get that dad bod check.
And check with that little habit 4-pack,
hilarious.
four-pack family deal. Clutch, man. Clutch.
No, I'm trying to keep my belly small. I don't have to. Maybe I'll probably do that one day. I'm pretty sure I will.
Hit up the habit.
Yeah. That's it for our
hit up the habit.
I love the habit. I just got it like a week ago. That's going to do it for our Valley or whatever we call that segment. I thought that was a lot of fun. We'll continue to do that every podcast that we have. Shout out the places that we've been going to in the Valley that have kind of helped our lives the last few months. So,
yeah, and if you're listening, if you happen to listen and you have a spot you want to check us out, let us know, man. We'll definitely be glad to check it out. And man, even better if you're hooking us up to go check it out. So I'll definitely go glad there to give it a go ahead of review. You know what I mean?
100%.
But in all seriousness, during the pandemic, definitely is more of a support these local businesses right now. That's definitely the vibe. That's kind of why we thought about this whole bringing these spots up because first of all, we're definitely super. And if you know us, we're super proud being Valley people, being from Van Nuys. We mentioned, that's pretty much part of everything we talk about all the time. So we definitely wanted to give a shout out as far as, pride level to some of these spots, but it also more on the, pandemic's been tough on everybody, right? So if these businesses get some, some people in there or not in there, but going to get some stuff from them
in there and get the fuck out.
Yeah. Then that's fucking dope, right?
Yeah, that's the plan, right? And then hopefully things can ease up and we get back to normal. But I think that's a perfect segue. We can follow us. We moved the podcast from Buzzsprout to Anchor. So we're going to check out Anchor and let you know how that goes. We had a great, I thought Buzzsprout did great. Anchor is just a little more cost friendly. So we decided to move over there. And we're still on iTunes. We're not on SoundCloud. Geez, that was like from 2015. We're on iTunes. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on wherever you get them, and we're going to throw this up on YouTube. So we'll be a lot more active on the tube. And
please go on YouTube and give it subscribe, give all this a like, so we the more we get out there, and just like the podcast and just like that. Please, share them. Let people know that we got something dropped. Just if you enjoyed it, of course. If you didn't, well, shit, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, or share it and be like, "Hey, these guys are idiots." Go like them. Whenever go subscribe, regardless if you hate it. You can hate subscribe. We'll take that too. We're desperate at this point.
Right.
Right. Definitely so.
All right, that's gonna do it for. I don't know what episode this is, but it might be the first episode of 2021. Well, I know it's that for sure, but I don't know what we're going to call it yet. But
yeah, that's the vibe we want to go with.
I think so. Definitely... Episode 1 of 2021.
1 of 2021.
And until we meet again, fellas, I'm really excited about what we got going. Once again, hopefully, once we get back in person, we can do some live shows and get you guys and not like live shows where we actually meet up in person, as in live shows where multiple people can come watch and participate and have a live audience, and that would be a lot of fun. And I think we're working towards that once
definitely
once this thing dies down. We really kind of miss the being around people, and as great as technology is, definitely that's not why we got this going. We got this going to hang out with each other, and we'll get back to that and get back to being somewhat normal eventually. But until then, thank you very much for listening, and continue supporting us. And go Lakers.
Go Lakers 100%.
Go Lakers, for sure.
All right, take it easy, guys. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
All right.